Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Kunal Patel, and today we are going to learn some basics of Jupyter Notebook in this video tutorial. So, first of all, let's start with the definition that what is Jupyter Notebook, right? So, the first of all, if you go onto this official site, that is jupyter.org, right? So, you will find lots of documentations related with this Jupyter notebook, right? But in a layman style, if you want to understand what is the Jupyter notebook, that Jupyter notebook is an incredibly powerful tool that is for interactively developing and presenting the data science projects, right? So today we know that there is a huge demand of machine learning, artificial intelligence, and data science, data analytics, right? So in the era of this AI, this is a very handy and very useful tool to deal with, right? So first of all, those who are already know the particular IPython, right? So this particular Jupyter project is the successor of the IPython notebook, right? So first of all, what is notebook? So in this notebook, this is not just a simple notebook, but it integrates the code and it also displays the output into a single document, right? And you can combine the visualization, then mathematical equations and other rich medias into a single notebook, right? So this particular notebook is very increasingly popular choice at the heart of contemporary data science analysis and increasingly science at a large, right? So now let's not going into that much theoretical portion, we directly jump to the how you can create the environment of this particular interactive mode. So let's first of all start how you can install this and how you can use this. So as a part of this first video, I'm just only going to brief out some installation process and setup, how you can set up the environment for the Jupyter notebook, right? So first of all, if you want to install it, then just go to the install and here are some commands with this Conda and peep, right? So with the use of these commands, you can install the particular Jupyter notebook, right? But as a best way, right, you just need to go to the Anaconda site, right, and click on this site. So you will find here the different, you can say, packages of this particular Anaconda installer, right? So according to the platforms, you will you can choose the particular package for your system, right? So I have already installed the Anaconda navigator, right? So if I open it, then as a part of this Anaconda, this particular Jupyter notebook is already installed into that package, right? So you will notice over here that this is the particular Jupyter notebook. If I want to open this notebook, then I just need to click on this launch button, right? So if I click on this particular launch button, then you can notice over here, it is running in a local host, right? So let's understand what is the meaning of this, right? So this is a server client application, right? This Jupyter notebook is a server client application, right? So if you want to use this, So this particular application allows you to edit and run your notebooks via web browser, right? So it always run in a web browser. Okay. And this particular application can be executed on PC without the internet access, right? Now you will notice over here that it mainly contains the two components. One is the kernel and another one is the dashboard. Okay, right? So here, if I click on this new, then it will show me the kernels, different kernels, right? Python 3, 3.8.0, 3.8.2. These are the current kernels installed on my machine. Okay, and this is the dashboard. This is the dashboard. Through this, you can open the particular environment, right? So, first of all, let's understand what is the meaning of kernel, right? So, the kernel is a program that runs and introspects the user's code, right? So, whatever Python code, whatever uh, R code you are going to run in this particular Jupyter notebook, so that can be interpreted and it is useful to run the particular code, right? And this particular Jupyter notebook has a Python kernel, right? For the Python language. So here you will notice Python 3, 3.8.0, 3.8.2. Okay, right? But it is also available for other programming languages also. It is not just only stick to the Python language. Okay, right? And the second part is a dashboard. So the dashboard of this particular Jupyter application is not only shows the notebook documents that you have made, but you can reopen it, you can manage the kernels, and you can choose which kernel you want to run, which kernel you want to shut down. All these perform, all these particular, you can say, functions you can perform with this particular Jupyter Notebook environment, right? Now, by default, it is opening like this. But suppose if I want to open a particular location of my Jupyter Notebook, so how you can open it? So first of all, you just need to create a new window, okay? And you can see in this window, I'm finding the commands. I'm currently navigating to my particular folder which I have already created, right? So you can notice over here that there are so many folders I have created, but I am interested in my this Jupyter notebook folder. So right now I am in this particular Jupyter notebook folder. Okay, right. Now, if I'm going to open a Jupyter notebook from the terminal, so how I can open it? So you just need to write one command, Jupyter notebook, and just you need to hit the enter. Now it is opening the Jupyter notebook for you, right? Directly if you have. So I have already created two particular Jupyter notebooks. So it is listing out. Now suppose if I want to create another new, then I just need to select my kernel. Right now I'm stick with the Python 3 and just I have created this Jupyter notebook for me, right? If you just rename this, then this is the demo notebook, right? And it is renamed. It is renamed. Okay. Apart from this, if you have noticed that you will have a Jupyter lab. So this is another interesting feature of this. So this is the advanced version, next generation IDE for this particular Jupyter notebook. So in this Jupyter notebook, you just walk around with the, like it's a one kind of documentation. But whenever you open, launch a Jupyter lab, then it will provide you the if feel of IDE. like you are working with some kind of IDE, right? And it is also a very powerful, right? You can here work with the different plugins. You can explore it, and you can see here is the project structure, and here is your particular default notebooks. So I have already created this. If I close this, so at the first, you will find this particular dashboard. So here you can see it divides your dashboard into three different categories. One is a notebook, another one is the console. Suppose if you directly want to open the terminals, so you can go over here, markdown files, and it is going to categorized, and it is very easy to find the particular environment for your work, right? Suppose if I want to create a notebook, then I just need to click on my interpreter, or you can say the kernel, and it will create the particular notebook for me, right? So here you can see, you can just rename that directly. Okay, this is the demo file. Okay, so now my file is already created. Suppose if you have already created a Jupyter notebooks for you, then just open it by double clicking it. So I have created this Jupyter notebook for iris classification. We'll discuss this example later on in my video, but right now I'm just showing you the use of this particular Jupyter lab and Jupyter notebook, right? So you can find a wonderful environment over here, and you can work with the different languages, but here we are going to stick with the Python. So you can see this is a simple Python code I have written for the iris classification machine learning example, right? So this is the difference between Jupyter Lab and Jupyter Notebook. But as a beginner, I want you to start with the Jupyter Notebook only. Start with the Jupyter Notebook only. Then later on, because there are some basic differences, like some plotly graphs are not working with it. Okay, in this Jupyter lab, some of the functionalities, like you can see over here, I have used plotly to plot the graphs, but here you can see that particular graph is not displaying. So there are some features not working well with the Jupyter lab, right? So I want you to deal, and I want you to learn and practice with the particular, you can say, Jupyter Notebook environment only, right? So this way you can create. So this is a interpreter kind. So here you can see, I just need to write the hello, and I just run this, then it will print the hello directly. Okay. So this is just the introductory portion of this Jupyter Notebook. Later on in my next video, we will start how you can use the Jupyter Notebook, and how what are the different commands you can write with the Jupyter notebook, right? So please stick with the particular environment and try to learn this environment as a data science developer and machine learning developer. You will find different videos, updated videos on my YouTube channel regarding this machine learning and AI later on. So we'll meet you in my next video.